Hey, what's up, YouTube family? So I know it's been quite some time that I have been away from the channel between kids, work, school, and all the commotion with COVID happening. Um, it's just been a lot to juggle, so I just took a step back for a minute. But I don't want to make this too long. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe to my channel, and push the notification button so when I post a video, you guys will be able to be notified. I don't mind. I'm just folding my laundry. Just wanted to come on here and talk to you really quick. So, as far as like being busy and juggling all the commotion during this crazy time, I know I've been slacking with posting and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I don't know, I was like really slapped in the face with reality of how out of shape I am. My biggest thing is the consistency, making time for myself as a mother, and just overall making excuses. Not so much excuses, but I think the consistency and going the same routine. As I mentioned, if you didn't watch my first video, I think it was like maybe the second or third video, but I talk about it where I went the first route to do what I needed to do after I had my daughter to lose the weight, losing the 80 plus pounds. I kind of went back after having my son over the last few years to doing the same routines, and apparently, I don't know, just as you get older, you know, as a mother, and having children and being a wifey and work and everything that like that, trying to implement the same practices that I did after I had my daughter in the first time around of losing the weight. And unfortunately, unfortunately right now, the reality check for me, trying to implement the same things that I did the first time around is not working. So with that being said, with just researching online and things like that, I took the initiative to finally say enough is enough. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and it's just sad the way that things are, but at the end of the day, if you really want something bad enough, you'll strive for it and you'll fight for it. So with that being said, I went and did some research, and I actually looked into it, and I was like, you know what, let's do something different. So what I did was is I found a kickboxing class, and I actually like looked on the reviews and found out how much the classes were and so on and so forth. And because the first class was free, I was like, you know what, why not? And what comes free nowadays? So I definitely took advantage of that. And I actually went last Thursday, and I took the first class, and that is what really reality is what really hit me in the face. I can't even talk today. But that's really what hit me in the face. The reality of, sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat, but the reality of it is that's what really woke me up. It really was an eye-opener upon keep putting myself on the back burner and making sure my family and my home and the kiddos and stuff are taken care of. I always put everybody else first before myself in my home, and because of the consistency is a hard thing for me, and as well as the second biggest thing is the lack of sleep. Ever since I had my son, I have not gotten a full 8 hours of sleep, and that's been the two biggest things that I have struggled with. So going to that class last week was really a reality check. I actually went today. Excuse me. I went today. I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I've been chit-chatting with one of the coaches in my area where I reside. She actually reached out to me last week after I had the class. I think like the next day or like later on in that day. She reached out to me and she was asking how I like the class and what my goals are and so on and so forth. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, people always use the excuse. Everyone, goes through things in life and whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you want something bad enough, you'll fight for it, right? So I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of saying, not just myself, but people in general, just to like, oh, I don't have the money to do it, or I don't have the time. Time and money are the two biggest things. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, if you really want it, you'll find the time to do it. And think about how much you invest on a weekly basis, what you're spending on food. If you're stopping at a fast food restaurant or ordering out all the time, if you add all that up, getting Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so on and so forth, and that's going to add up when you think about it. So with that being said, I wasn't afraid of what the financial aspect is. Yes, it's a little bit on the pricier end, but I did it for the sake of my mental sanity, as well as being driven and focused and knowing that I'm tired of being in the oversized / weight bracket that I'm in. And I want to be able to give my kids and not be tired and fatigued all the time and things like that. So I am working on my mental health and emotional health with all the craziness going on. Just focusing on my goals and what my goals are, to lose 70 to 80 pounds within the next year. So what I did today was I went to another class, and it was so bad, but it's like I was so winded. It's completely different from working out at home. Like, it's like a complete 360, like very different. You're being held accountable. I did the working out at home for a long time, but again, I signed up for a 3-week challenge, and with that 3-week challenge, you get a meal plan, you get a coach that checks in with you, and within the next 3 weeks, you get to go to the gym. Gym/classes within the next 3 weeks, as many times as you want to go. And you just follow the meal plan, and then the coach will check in with you weekly and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. So for the next 3 weeks, I'm committing to myself, because I'm not going to lie, I've been horrible. Yes, I've been meal prepping, but my sweet tooth has been on another level. I eat fairly well, but at the same time, I've been bad with junk food and things like that. So I'm really trying to nip that in the butt, trying to cut down on sugars and sweets and stuff like that. But if I do have sugars and sweets, because again, everything is in moderation. I learned a lot over the years as far as nutrition, health, what's good, what's not good. And I found looking for better options and healthier options with things like plant-based and sugars and stuff like that. So everything's going to be taken into consideration, with moving forward. I already prepped my food for the week. I'm all set for the week. And so with that being said, I just want to pop on here and hope everybody is safe. Everyone is taking care of themselves, as well as just doing well overall with your kiddos. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, you're being safe at work and because I know the numbers and stuff like that are going up with COVID and the elections going on and all this crazy commotion that we are dealing with right now. So I just, again, if you're going through a health and fitness journey and weight loss journey, I hope that this can inspire someone out there in the world that is going through the same difficulties and trials and tribulations that I'm also challenging with myself. I'm going to try to be better at making some more inspiration and videos and things like that. But again, the main thing like of this channel is like health and fitness, but also overall daily life, like mom life, and just things in general. Again, and another thing that like I didn't mention is that when I got out of the class like last Thursday and then coming out of the class today, like it's a whole nother feeling. Like I haven't felt this good in a long time. So I know that once I start implementing the meal plan and really taking things like serious, like with my eating and getting back on track, I know once I get back on track, I'm just gonna go up from there. But yeah, so I just hope again this can inspire someone. And also too, they take your before and after pictures. They took my measurements, which I have done myself as well. They weighed me, and I held like this machine thing where not weighed, but it like tells your overall body percentage and fat and stuff like that. And they'll weigh you at the end. They'll take after pictures, and that's pretty much the overall background. Also too, before going to the class, I have a plant-based pre-workout that I take with vitamin C that I mix it with in a water bottle, and I just shake it up and I take that, and that's kind of what gets me pumped. But again, if you're interested in it, I do have a website that you can go to if you're interested in that. And you can get I think it's like a 15% off, I think, something along those lines. But yeah, so again, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I will see you in the next one. Hey guys, sorry I didn't get to close out the last video, but as you can see, I'm always multitasking. It's just something that you learn to do when you're just a mother, or just in general, when you're trying to juggle so many things at once. But what I wanted to say is, before I close out the video, I forgot to mention that with this class, this kickboxing class, you get to you have to go at least 3 times a week with what the plan comes with. So again, you get your weekly check-in with the coach, you get a meal plan, you have to go at least 3 times a week during the week, and you can go unlimited within that 3 weeks, and then you pay the amount. But again, my apologies, I didn't close out. I just wanted to touch base on that, but also too, just speaking in general, I'm going to try, again, as I mentioned, be more consistent, because that's something that I struggle with. And don't mind the dishes behind there, because those are the dishes I have to put away. They're clean. But again, something that has been struggled with is the consistency. And because just being an overall busy individual, having kids and work, and now with COVID, the kids being home, and in some states and different areas where people reside, some are still doing the cohorts, like A and B, which is like the hybrid models, and some are just fully virtual. And My daughter is fully virtual. So it's a lot in itself for teachers. It's a lot in itself for students. It's a lot in itself for parents that I commend significantly, parents that have to stay home with their child, but also work too. They have to work from home and obtain their kids. Some kids in the field that I work in, just dealing with the patients, some parents have to juggle 3 kids and work as well. So I commend them 1,001%, because again, it's not easy right now. So again, my main goal is to practice a lot of changes and what I've been consuming, and with the bad habits of being like spiraling out of control with my eating, and being more cautious as to what I'm putting in my body. With that being said, as well as continuing the meal prepping and what my goals are, and main focus is changing, being better at consistency, getting more sleep, which I'm trying and I'm working on, as well as setting a goal, not putting a timeline, because again, this isn't a race. This is a lifestyle. This is not diet, because diet is, everyone yo-yo diets. Diet is like, I'm going to go on a diet, and then you go on a diet and then you fall back into your old ways. Like, no, it's a lifestyle. So if you want a lifestyle, you have to commit to that overall aspect. Like, for example, like, it's hard in itself. But for example, like, my issue, before I got back into working out, like through this whole year, was I got the meal prepping part down, but with the working out, I was just freaking lazy. I was lazy. I'm not gonna lie. But then, for example, my sister, she freaking was amazing, and literally, like, she got the whole working out part. She can work out with no problem, but then when it came to the eating, she was like on another level with her eating. But she's obviously not obese. She's fit and stuff like that. But still, she just has her, like, I call her a chocoholic, because she couldn't go a day without freaking eating chocolate. Like, it's that bad. So anyhow, with that being said, I gotta get back to attending these kiddos. And again, if you haven't watched my other videos, go like, share, subscribe, comment below any comments, or if you're going through the same journey or struggle that I'm going through with as well, on this weight loss journey, and just life in general. I lost my train of thought, but I'm just speaking in general. Again, it's not easy, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, because again, biologically, I have 2 kids, and my hubby and I, we took in my nephew. So now technically we have 3. We've had him since he was a newborn, and now he's almost 18 months. So if you go back to my first video that I originally made, you'll get like and understand the scenario. But again, so it's not easy by any means. Technically, when we got my nephew, he was a newborn, and my son was not even 2 years old, and now my son is just turned 4, and the baby is almost 18 months. And then on top of that, I have my eldest child, which is 9 years old. So if there's any busy mamas that, or just speaking in general, any woman or men out there that are trying to get inspiration, motivation, anything like that, comment down below what your struggles and difficulties are, and so on and so forth. And again, I'm have my notifications on, so if you write something, I will be sure to write back in the comments. And again, no negative comments. Please keep it to yourself. But again, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I hope to see you in my next one. Love these health and fitness, and stand on your faith, because again, it's a cold world out there. So love y'all.